The No False Lemmas NFL account of knowledge is a philosophical theory developed as a response to the Gettier problem, which challenges the classical definition of knowledge as justified true belief. The Gettier problem, introduced by Edmund Gettier in his 1963 paper Is Justified True Belief Knowledge, presents scenarios where individuals have beliefs that are justified and true, yet intuitively these beliefs do not seem to constitute knowledge due to the presence of some element of luck or error in the reasoning process. The NFL account modifies the traditional definition by adding a condition. For a belief to count as knowledge, it must not be based on any false lemmas, assumptions, or steps in reasoning. This approach aims to eliminate the cases where a belief is true and justified but not genuinely known due to reliance on false premises. To fully understand the NFL account, let's delve into original Gettier cases and how NFL attempts to resolve them. In the Smith and Jones case, Smith has strong evidence for believing that Jones will get a job and Jones has 10 coins in his pocket. Therefore, Smith concludes that the person who will get the job has 10 coins in their pocket. However, it turns out that Smith will get the job and, coincidentally, Smith also has 10 coins in his pocket. Smith's belief is true and justified, but he arrived at it through a false lemma, the belief that Jones would get the job. In the stopped clock case, a person looks at the clock that stopped 24 hours earlier, but it happens to show the correct time at that moment. The person's belief about the time is true and justified, yet it's not knowledge because it's based on the false assumption that the clock is working correctly. The NFL account addresses these problems by asserting that knowledge must be based on true lemmas. If any false lemmas are involved in the reasoning process leading to a belief, that belief cannot be considered knowledge, even if it is true and justified. We discussed several Gettier cases, and in Dharmakirti's case, the nomad believes that there is water in the valley based on the false belief that a mirage is an oasis. And in Russell's case, the man bases his true belief about the time on the false belief that the clock he's looking at is working. In both cases, the inference that leads to the true belief passes through false premises. In response to this fact, American philosopher Gilbert Harman suggested adding a condition to the JTB account that he termed No False Lemmas. A false lemma is a false premises or step in the reasoning process. Harman's fourth condition is that a person's belief cannot be based on an inference that uses false premises. According to Harman, S knows P if and only if P is true, S believes P, S is justified in believing P, and S did not infer P from any falsehoods. Harman theorized that many counterexamples to the traditional account share a similar feature. The truth of the belief is not appropriately connected to the evidence used to deduce that belief. Going back to Dharmakirti's case, what makes the statement, "there's water in the valley," true is the fact that there is water below the surface. However, the nomad comes to believe that there is water based on the mistaken belief that a mirage is an oasis, so what makes the belief true is not connected to the reason the nomad believes it. If Harman's condition that the reasoning that leads to belief cannot pass through false steps is added, then the nomad's belief no longer counts as knowledge. Harman's emendation explains why the nomad does not have knowledge and accounts for the intuition that the man in Russell's case does not actually know what time it is. However, this cannot take care of all Gettier cases. Consider the case of Henry in Fake Barn Country. Henry comes to believe he is looking at a barn based on his perceptual experience of the barn in front of him. And Henry does look at a real barn. He does not reason through any false premises, such as all the structures on my drive are barns. His inference flows directly from his perceptual experience of a real barn. Yet it is a matter of luck that Henry isn't looking at one of the many barn facades in the area, so his belief still does not seem to count as knowledge. Because Harman's account is vulnerable to the barn counterexample, it does not solve the Gettier problem.